Hello and welcome everybody. We had some issues loading into the first lobby, but we're going directly for the second one here today. It's me again, and I have a new co-caster, pretty much Canada's finest, Mr. Rage. More Rage, please, aka Steve. And there we go, we are in the draft. He hasn't even called me yet, so where is that one? Ah, look, he's coming right there. So, yep. For the official introduction, then, we are here in the Hitbox Challenger by Razor Burden United versus Yellow Submarine. Yellow Submarine, they beat yesterday their opponent quite convincingly. We also had some loading issues, obviously, but still, it was just a nice game coming out of Yellow Submarine. So today, they had to challenge Burden because only two teams were left that did not have a single game played. That was Burden and that was Scary Faces. Everybody was scared of these two teams, apparently. Nobody wanted to challenge them. Today, they have to. So, Yellow Submarine had kind of the bitter apple. So, again, my name is Heflamoke, and casting him with Mr. More Rage, please, Canada's finest.
Thank you for that intro. Yeah, definitely a couple of scary faces in SFZ and Burden United, and Yellow Submarine looking really strong versus Lemon Dogs, yesterday. But it is going to be a tall task for them, despite kind of the chaotic nature of BU's roster recently. So we'll see how Barash and crew are able to weather the storm up against what is definitely a team of strong players, if not a strong team.
Absolutely. I mean, Burden United at the moment, their roster, like registered for this tournament, is considers pretty much of Bignum, Mind Control, Come With Me, and they play around two stands because they have not announced their final fourth and fifth player pretty much. So that's what we have to work with for Yellow Submarines. Obviously, everybody is sort of around. I guess it's Mirashka, Barash, we have Gedrox, Notzig, and Kant. Even though I think they have a stand-in today as well.
Yeah, I can't join the lobby early, but I think he left and was replaced with the stand-in. But either way, hopping into the draft, a little bit of an interesting ban coming out from Yellow Submarine in the first phase being the BH, but everything else looking really standard meta-wise. BU going to pick up the Tusk Wyvern combo. Already, Submarine going to have a lot of magic damage output to counter up that Cold Embrace, but definitely some early aggression there from BU. Earthshaker going to try and mitigate that aggression with that long-range counter initiation from the Fisher. So two very stable openings from both sides.
Absolutely. Let's track. So there's the magical call. We have the second one being banned out with the Queen of Pain. Yesterday and the day before, we even had quite some Linas and Lions. The funny part, we even had once, like all the three ladies pretty much aligned. We had Lion, Lina, and Queen of Pain in one game, which was crazy amount of burst right there. But, well, let's see if we're gonna have that today. Undying banned relatively early today. Burden United is a team that, yeah, kind of fears this one. Yesterday, it was for us a big question mark why Undying is so ignored here in Europe. Then finally he gets picked once with a very good show. The second one with an interesting build, to be honest, completely ignoring the Tombstone. That was, yeah, a very surprise, and he didn't really have that impact. So yeah, the utility here is coming out by Burden United first, which means we have still quite some cores to pick.
Yeah, and they're going to be banned a plenty. Bloodseeker and the PL, a kind of flavor of the month carry, is going to be taken out by BU here. It looks like they're going to go for a little bit more of an early to mid-game oriented lineup with this opening and the bans. Bloodseeker obviously puts a lot of pressure on the map, and they do want to be free to roam around with this Tusk and whoever else is up in that support combo. Of course, Tusk Wyvern, pretty strong. Tusk Lina, even stronger, but expect this Tusk to be in a core role for BU. They could put that Lina towards mid lane, but generally we see the Tusk given a little bit more priority. Either way, a lot of strong early aggression from them. Mind Control's SF going to be banned out from Yellow Submarine. He's definitely very capable with that hero there, but it doesn't seem like BU want to take it too late with their bans.
Yeah, Yellow Submarine, they still have one core to go, but they also have two other slots to fill. If that Earthshaker does not go into the offline, which I kind of doubt, then we still have one offlane to pick, a core and a support for whatever goes in the safe lane. Knowing that they have to pick it, Burden United, they already focused on, for example, the Bloodseeker as well as the PL. They don't want to have that in a safe lane farming, and I can understand why. That doesn't leave too much open at this point, because also Shadow Fiend has been banned. The gyro,
I was
obviously.
just gonna say, yeah, it was a little bit late for this gyro to still be up in the pool. Yellow Submarine will pick it up Obviously has really good synergy with the snowball and the shards from Tusk. If you can isolate someone, that rocket barrage does a lot of work. So really, Yellow Submarine almost forced to pick it up at this point. We can definitely say that Burden United had an idea that they would go for it. It is a predictable pick, nonetheless a strong one. But that's definitely 2 cores in the hands of Yellow Submarine thus far. So they are going to still need that offlaner +1 support. But definitely a strong opening. They can look to fight up against what is going to be some early aggression, no doubt, from BU. And that's why definitely we see that Undying ban, as you mentioned early on, coming up from BU. They definitely want to have the upper hand in these early skirmishes.
Yep, and that means we needed offliner still for Yellow Submarine. The Clockwork is still there and wouldn't be even too bad, I think, if you really think about it. As for Burden United, that Lina could be a core in theory, but we might as well just see the Tuscany offline, the Winter Wyvern, the Lina, and the Tri lane. We get something for the mid right now, as well as for the safe lane. So Burden United still has freedom to swap forth and back. That's the good thing about their draft currently.
Yeah, interested to see what they go for mind control here. He can play the Storm Spirit, and it does kind of synergize with their lineup in terms of applying pressure across the map. I'm interested to see if BU runs an offlane dual lane with the Tusk here. It's definitely something they've been able to do, and it's definitely something that is possible with the Wyvern. The Arctic Burn helps out with Harass quite a bit, can secure the Tusk some last hit. The Cold Embrace helps with the sustain in lane. So if they get a little bit more of a self-sufficient laner for their safe lane, don't be too surprised to see them go Tusk Wyvern in that off lane up against the Gyro +1, as the Earthshaker will most likely be roaming towards that mid lane early on to secure some farm for his mid laner.
And it's coming a Witch Doctor, okay? I just have to sort some stuff in the background with the managers and everything. Our Skype group crashed, and therefore, like, with the passwords and everything, it was completely a mess. So thanks for that, Mr. Microsoft. That didn't really work out. So, given the Witch Doctor now, that means this is a Lina core. The question is just, do we see that Lina in the mid? I mean, against Lashstrike, I think she's gonna get spammed out really fast. It's gonna be a battle between Lightning and Dragon Slave. That's very interesting. I guess with the Winter Wyvern saying hello in the mid from time to time, or maybe even from the very beginning, that maybe creates some space for the Lina.
I mean, Lina's got that big long range, so she should do okay, but definitely Leshrock a lot more spammable in his spells, at least before both of the bottles come out. I don't think he'll be able to zone Lina out of lane completely. As you mentioned, definitely look for the roams from both sides a little bit earlier on. But it should draw relatively even slight advantage to the Leshrock in that mid lane. So I don't hate this decision from BU. Once again, they don't scale extremely well with the Lina Tusk in their core roles. And they are going to have to look to rectify that issue with this last pickup. It should be a safe laner for them, though, so they still definitely have the opportunity to do so. Disruptor pickup going to come out from Yellow Submarine, and it's definitely very nice against a lot of these heroes that are going to be clumping up towards that Snowball, and a couple of instant ways in the Glimpse and the Static Storm to cancel that Death Ward.
Yep. I mean, the Disruptor is pretty nice. Like, that's adding a lot to a clutch fight when that actually comes out, and it's a Drow Ranger. So this is Lina Drow Ranger. This Drow Ranger is gonna be with the Winter Wyvern Witch Dog in the safe lane. I assume it's really a Lina mid with a Tusk in the offline. I guess Winter Wyvern, they can swap a bit forth and back if they don't find anything in the offline. Offline still, by the way, a question mark for Yellow Submarine. It could be Earthshaker, and we see another support on the line, or like along the lines with the Gyrocopter, or Yellow Submarine comes out with a dual lane strategy. That might also still be an option.
I don't mind the Earthshaker core at all here. The Drow Ranger is very susceptible to the initiation and the physical damage he can output if he picks up a decently timed Blink Dagger. But either way, yeah, I'd look for something with easy route to initiation. So definitely something like the Clockwork, as you mentioned earlier. Earthshaker, not bad. Even the Centaur, although we don't see it all that often, is pretty damn good here because of its tankiness. But they are going to go with the Primal Roar as opposed to the hook shot there. So Beastmaster is something we've seen come back into favor a little bit in the EU scene recently, and Yellow Submarine going to pick it up once again. I believe they had success with this recently as well.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that the Beastmaster in Europe is still an option where other scenes completely ignore him or just bring him from time to time, more or less as a pocket strat. I'm kind of looking forward, but to be honest, I'm also afraid that he might not even get, I don't know, his shining minute, because there's a task, like he can dodge a lot with the Snowball, especially also on targets that are initiated upon, so you might draw someone and you end up just yeah, looking at the snowball, which is completely invulnerable. The Winter Wyvern can really help that target as well. We have a silence, we have multiple stuns, like 3 stuns alone, and additional sources of disable and slows. It's kind of sick what's coming their way, and that's why I don't like the Beastmaster for this one, but we have to see what's happening. It's pretty much a free ward anyway, so that's of course an upside for a Beastmaster, but yeah, let's introduce him really fast.
All right, over on the Radiant side, we've got Burden United. We're going to have Mind Control picking up the Drow Ranger, Top Kick, or Come With Me, going to be accompanying him on the Winter Wyvern. That leaves Auto Lose on the Lina and ASDF on the Witch Doctor. And finally, over towards that off lane, Bignum, definitely one of the most decorated BU players on the Tusk.
Yeah, one of them is supposedly Come With Me, but the players, Burden United,
Wyvern,
as usual, refusing to change their names, which I'm gonna change in the next lobby, so we're gonna get the original games, or we just don't get the game. Let's see. Oh, they're actually coming here. Winter Wyvern, that's an unfortunate position here. The boar was there to scout. He's using Arctic Burn just to get away. There's a nice Fissure, but even the Split Earth is completely off target. The Coconut flying in just to slow them a bit down. In the end, Leshrac, well, he doesn't have lightning, so they can't really pursue the entire thing. And given that, I guess I can finally introduce them. We have Not Secure on a Disruptor. Behind him is a standing of also unknown name for Yellow Submarine. Who was it that...
I think it was Vadim OP.
No, his name is Vadim OD. Yeah, Vadim OD. Baraj is on the Lashrak. Behind him is Gadrox, and we have the next little engagement here. This time Split Earth actually hits just some right clicks. That's pretty much what it comes down to, but he already has to go mid, otherwise he would lose a lot of experience right there. We have Miroshka on the Gyrocopter, and I think I'm through with all of them now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Yes fares here. They've left the Gyro alone so far in this safe lane, but he definitely will find his farm up against Bignum's Tusk. So interesting decision from Yes, but I don't think they'll be punished for it, at least anytime soon, unless there are some rotations from BU's side. So hopefully get any of these lag issues underway, but should be a good one here. I think the lane's looking pretty good for Yes, despite how potent this early lineup is for BU.
Yep, Yellow Submarine had yesterday already some internet issues here and there. Today, I guess we're gonna put up like a max timer, because if that really comes too much, then the enjoyment of the game will be very, very much diminished. So let's see if that was the first and the last one. Either way, the Beastmaster at the moment, he is not even in range for experience, so that's taken a while. But I think with the next some CS here, it gets at least half a level or something out of this. The Tusk, however, he will be free. Like, he only has to fear the Gyrocopter. There is no one that can rotate right now in at this point, because the Disruptor, he's busy pulling.
Yeah, he can dodge a full rocket barrage with his snowball as well, so really doesn't have much to fear, even if the rotations come through. He will run into the Earthshaker here, trying to soak some experience from the pull, but does have this deep ward. Actually, both offlaners have a deep ward, but the Dire side will deny up Bignum's ward for now. And meanwhile, on the other side, Gedrox, as long as he sees that the Lina is out of lane, should be pretty damn survivable here. You don't expect Mind Control to be skilling up Gust early on.
There's a slow here on the Lashrak, but the Light Strike array, that is just too far away. Dragonfly first, but he Split Earth, stunning him directly under the tower. And, well, actually, Bagash is still kind of a problem. I think this is the right click the Winter Wyvern needs right there. And that's enough for first, but he has to run away. There's a Disruptor, only level 1 glimpse. The Kinetic Field, well, maybe there for vision. He heals himself with the Cold Embrace, but I still think he could just run away. There's no one that can actually follow up. Maybe, yeah, the Fissure, if there was a Fissure, but the problem is he has no mana whatsoever, so they have to chase him. This is a lot of time wasted right here. I mean, he is going down, but wow, that took ages.
Space created by Come With Me there, and he is going to find the first blood as well, so still ends up being pretty good for BU here. Definitely a favorable trade. ASDF going to now rotate back into the bottom lane, but while he was gone, Gedrox on the Beastmaster, able to pick up his level 3, and you definitely didn't expect this BM to get too much in this early game.
Yep, and another pause coming in. The mid actually disconnecting here. Lina, by the way, this Lina is very much trouble. Simply for the fact that, yeah, she's really low. Still had the last lightning right there with an amazing tooltip, by the way, if you bother mind mousing over this thing. Dota tooltip modifier. LE, is that like lightnings? What's the abbreviation?
Leshrac, probably.
Leshrac, yeah. Leshrac or something.
Nice templating, Dotka. But either way,
Dotka.
Yeah, very Very precarious situation for Autolose. Does he have the bottle coming out? He does, so he'll be fine to sustain in lane very soon here. Barash still a little bit of a ways off of his bottle, it seems. It is not coming out on the courier currently because he went down just a bit earlier. So Lina going to be able to secure an advantage with a few spammings of his Dragon Slave here, it seems. Leshrock only 5-2 thus far to the 9-3 of Lina. So death really hurting him, and that rotation over to try and find Come With Me's Wyvern after the death.
Yep, the Urshika actually picks up the Illusion Rune. They're not guarding it because there are no bottles up yet. I think for the Lina, she just got it, but obviously no one on the other side had it. And there might be a rotation top. A good Fissure across the line might really do the trick for Big Gnome. There's no way he can really snowball on the other side of the Fissure, but the creep wave is just there, so that's an unfortunate timing, obviously.
Yeah, we are going to see Miroshka pop that Rocket Barrage and does quite a bit of damage to Big Gnome. He's not willing to pop the Snowball just yet, but that's a very spammable spell for this Gyro, so needs to be able to keep himself up in lane. Does have that Salve, though, and 2 Tangos still available mid lane. Earthshaker and Come With Me dueling a bit to try and help out their mid laners, but nothing really coming of it.
No, it's just some harassment from back where the Winter Wyvern should always have the upper hand against the Earthshaker. Like, you can, obviously you are range versus melee, and if he pops the Arctic Burn, then that's of course a lot of range. Big Gnome still able to grab a lot of XP, even though they try to deny it on the side. Even the Disruptor getting quite some nice farm because he gets this, the offlane side camp, which is of course cool for him. That's like, especially the big creeps. It's almost 100 gold right there for support at this stage. Really good income.
Yeah, ASDF heavily zoning out the Beastmaster now for the last little bit in the off lane for the Dire side, and now Tusk is caught up and even surpassed Gedrix. So Big Gnome almost picking up his level 4 here. Is going to look to contest this 4-mana rune. They have vision of him though because the Thunderclap, or Thunderstrike I should say, is on him. They are going to block him out completely, it seems, with the Fissure and Autolose. Just going to be able to stare him in the face and pick that up.
But you got no problem. I mean, the Lina still got it in the end. The Winter Wyvern in the meantime picking up the experience in the mid, so hell, nothing was really lost there that day. Just a tiny bit experience, maybe top for Big Gnome, but yeah, that was a Fissure that did pretty much nothing. Absolutely nothing. Draw Ranger also completely uncontested. The Beastmaster not leaving his fortified position under the tower. He just doesn't want to risk it. He has no idea where they are. Like, vision-wise, they could just see some rotations here in that area. But now also nighttime, of course, that makes it kind of hard to really spot a gank. They have to know what the rest is, but they are top. And that might actually be something now. If you get the Arctic Burn right next to you in a snowball and then the Coconut later on, it might be easy kill on the Gyrocopter. At the moment, he's trying to not have the creeps under the tower.
Yeah.
So, better farm for him, but they want to go. And there's a snowball on the Disruptor, and he's completely out of position. That is such a guaranteed kill if they get it through the ice shots. Maybe there's even more, but the Rocket Rush doing so much damage right now. Standing, coming in, but that Fissure did really not do anything. And now with the Sigil, as well as like the healing of the Witch Dart, nothing they can do there. I have to retreat.
Yeah, they definitely wanted Miroshka over the Disruptor there, but a kill is a kill regardless, and it's just a rotation of a couple supports. They're going to snowball back in towards the Gyro here. This is a deep dive. Kinetic Field is there. It's going to catch out Big Gnome. Rocket Barrage doing a lot of work. Right clicks coming through the Gyro. Going to be the first one to go down to Come With Me, and Nochik going to follow. They're going to get a glimpse back, though. Cold Embrace pop just before the glimpse by the Wyvern, but the Kinetic Field is up once again. Fissure is available in 2 seconds. Actually, mana too low for the Earthshaker. Come With Me, gonna turn, get some more right clicks off, and the Precision Aura doing work for the Radiant side. The Wyvern will end up going down, but it ends up being a 2 for 2.
And nice go by the Lina. Laguna Blade even used Light Strike, alright, Dragon Slave, Laguna Blade. She had exactly the mana for it. After that, she was completely dry. But yeah, thanks to that solo kill in the mid, and the not so optimal time before is kind of restored now. The Lashrak, easy going for him now. He has really something of catch up to do.
Yeah, he does. 33 CS towards the Lina, 26 to his name. He's got the 2 deaths already, one of them being a solo kill, and Autolose a full level ahead, as you mentioned. Good trade for BU top as well. Ends up being a 2 for 2, but they get the experience, or more experience, for both kills as well, being the first ones to draw blood. So looking good for BU in this early game all across the map. And with those rotations now, Tusk sitting on almost level 5. Gedrix, as you mentioned, playing very safe, but is almost level 5 on the Beastmaster as well.
And look at this now, like bottom mind control is getting soon out of control simply because he really has free farm. Not much there they can actually do here on Getrox. He's also far away from Aurora where they can like do anything about it. He has now what? Agility PTs, the normal Wraith Band. I don't know if he's going for Aquila just because it's a very efficient item. Lina, whoa! In the mid, the next Laguna Blade straight on cooldown, just getting that Leshrac kill. I did not see this one coming, but well, fast and furious.
Yeah, very squishy target early on, and without his support in the mid lane, Leshrac super vulnerable.
Go on the
They're going to catch
Beastmaster. Look at the slows. Absolutely coming out. Splinter Blast as well, and maybe they can even go for more, but no, there was the glimpse back on the Drow Ranger, so he couldn't join that fight.
Yeah, and she's completely fine with being glimpsed back there. They are going to isolate, come with me in the back lines, bring him down with that rocket barrage. But it causes a rotation over from this gyrocopter, where he's losing out on farm top lane. And even the Leshrac TPing in now, and mind control completely has retreated towards safety. So a little bit questionable decision making in terms of the rotations from Yes. Meanwhile, Tusk farming top, Lina farming mid just fine. Gedrux rotated into the mid. He's going to pick up a creep wave here and will be pretty close to his level 6 with it.
Yep. And we have Lina now picking up that rune back to her lane. We had a nice rotation here by the Drow Ranger. Like, since he said, okay, Gyrocopter, Leshrac, they're going bottom, I just dodge bottom and I go top. So there's a tower to take, and of course now Yellow Submarine. They have TP cooldown. They really have to go manually top lane, and that's just not gonna happen. We have in the mid, well, nice little rotation by the Disruptor. Maybe with that they could go on the Lina, but the Lina knows about that. She's really staying max range here, not trying to do any experiments.
They drop the call down on to come with me, with the cold embrace keeps him healthy, and now Miroshka diving underneath the tower. He will find the Wyvern, but he's going to pay with his life. And ASDF able to get in with that one right click to even pick up the last hit on the kill, and that is definitely not worth it, especially considering they lose a tier 1 in the meantime. Top lane, Gyrocopter going down twice in the last couple of minutes, and only finding the Wyvern kill there was a little bit overzealous from him. As soon as he dived, he had to continue to commit, but the cold embrace enough to delay him long enough to take too much damage from that tower.
Yep, I mean, usually you want your Gyrocopter having like a really flawless uptime, like for the max XP, for the max farm, but like him engaging that early, it's usually a thing, of course, with the Gyrocopter, because he comes with a nice set of like already high magical damage regardless of his farm. The scaling is completely independent of that, but of course if you die in those trades, then it's just not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. Also top now, the Gyrocopter being alone with not even a K XP. If there's a snowball, that should just do the trick right there. He's using the cooldown. That's a lot of damage here. My control really trying to do something, but he's getting tons of damage. These ice shards not really helping, actually hurting the Drow Ranger in that situation, and he somehow survives. I have no idea how he just did that, but he survives, and that was a big, big loss to Burden.
Yeah, call down, good spell early on. Rocket Barrage, could argue even better, you said it. A lot of magical damage output from this Gyrocopter, independent of farm, and after feeding away what was a costly death bottom, he pretty much gains everything back. It's only 13 CS behind the Drow Ranger at this point, but in terms of net worth, it's only about 200 behind mid lane. Nochik is going to be harassed up by Come With Me. He's going to drop the Static Storm, though. Dragon Slave comes through, will not kill off the Disruptor. Laguna Blade is there to kill off the Earthshaker. Split Earth is going to be able to be dodged by the Snowball, and they're going to come through with the LSA. Barash going to go down. Big turn mid lane by BU. They end up getting a 3-0.
Also bottom, the Witch Dog, just in cooperation with the Drow Ranger, back from the fountain directly into the Beastmaster's face. Now they pressure the tower and force the cliff out, so that tower is definitely going down, and also Beastmaster losing his life. He's just level 6 at this point, but I'm not even that much afraid of the Drow Ranger, even though he has a good farm and everything, but that Lina is also getting scary here. Every single Laguna Blade cooldown so far transitioned into a nice kill. He even almost got the Beastmaster right there in a nice position. Also mid tower now going down after this one. Lina also getting the gold. This is a Lina with the Yule Scepter, 10 minutes into the game, and 1,800 on top of that, so this Argana Scepter is coming really fast.
And 3 tier 1s down. BU are just completely starting to control the map. You see it there. They take a tower for free mid. They back out, and there's a lot of ways for Yes to kind of catch the stragglers with the Roar and with the Fissure, but they're unable to do so. Even the Lightning Storm, quite a bit of range for them there. And a clean disengage from BU, and they're looking good on all of their cores at this point. Even the Tusk, who was starved early on, is on the way to making what seems to be a Glimmer Cape. And that'll be damn effective early on, at least, versus the Leshrac Disruptor and even the Gyrocopter.
What do you say, regardless of how it's going early and everything, like, who has the better late game on this one? This is Physical Core versus Magical Core on both sides. So Lina versus Lashrak, Gyrocopter versus Straw Ranger, who wins?
I would definitely say on paper, Yellow Submarine would take it, specifically because they'll have the roar towards the late game and the physical damage from the gyro.
Gyrocopter, that's a bad position. Ice Shard, stun, and even the Death Ward. Everything is committed, but they take a lot of damage. He's not even dead yet. Actually, in fact, he survives. Lina not even getting that kill. And now a nice stun here by the Lashrak, but YellowSub up. So that is definitely not transitioning into kill, but maybe want more. There is a nice little glimpse, but that was not successful. It was on the one who was standing anyway all the time in place to kill the Sigil, just for vision and everything, not having that nasty slow, but I don't think this is actually going anywhere.
That value from the Ogre Club pickup from Hiroshka, they're barely surviving towards that mid lane, and that's kind of big going their way. I mean, BU don't really lose anything because Yes is not farming anywhere else on the map, but it's unfortunate they're unable to pick up that kill. And Come With Me did have the Winter's Curse there, but he wasn't able to get in range. He'll use it mid though, and he will be able to stun them up. Laguna Blade gonna finish off Barash. Everyone else backing out. The cast bouncing through. The Shard's gonna do a lot of damage. Snowball through 2. Echo Slam is gonna be used defensively, but it's not gonna do nearly enough. Call down, now going to be dropped through, is going to connect onto 3 for the first one, onto 2 for the second. Gedrox, though, still left completely out, and Yellow Submarine lose 4 in the mid lane. Nice initiation with the curse.
Disaster. Like, they get stunned both by them, like by the snowball. Like, he did even completely ignore the disruptor. He was just rolling through him. The Gyrocopter not being there, no flak cannon damage, as well as the roar. Like, they picked the Beastmaster, but so far he has not really been part in all these fights. Like, the roar just came out for funsies, and look at this, Lina, she went for a Shadow Plate. So there's the opening snowball coming, everything on the Lashrak. That should be an easy kill right there, and a beautiful bouncing coconut right there. That also means the Gyrocopter is going down. That fissure from the other side doesn't really do anything, so this is even a tier 2 tower without any problem.
Yeah, BU really starting to snowball at this point. They're extending their lead to almost 10k in net worth. Only 5k in experience, but all these towers doing a lot of work in terms of the economy. And Mind Control's picked up the full Yasha now. The Yules pick up on top of the Shadow Blade for auto lose, and he's looking for more here mid lane. He's going to go in onto the ES. Laguna Blade going to finish him off. Double damage rune is there as well. Disruptor trying to juke through the trees. Won't be able to make it to Fiery Soul with the extra bit of move speed for auto lose and the Yule's Scepter there. And she is able to get an easy double kill coming in with half HP.
Yep, auto lose actually making Yellow Submarine really look bad. This Lina is just, well, she was always getting nice runes and everything, fully restored the mana, set in lane, didn't use much except for a casual Dragon Slave. So each and every Laguna Plate so far has been close to kill. She's getting the towers as well. This double damage for a double kill, that was also great. There is some dewarding that should go on, but at the moment no one really cares. It's Observer directly on a sentry, but Yellow Submarine, they can't even go anywhere. Roshan might be the next thing they want to do, but for now it's just okay. That's a dangerous thing to do, swap on items, but yeah.
Either way, they're going to jump in. Frost Arrows and the Sigil available to them. We even got the Voodoo Restoration to keep them healthy, and this Roshan is going to go down much more quickly than a response can be mounted by Yellow Submarine here. Everyone looking pretty poor over on the dire side. Only the Gyrocopter even keeping up close to the Radiant side. Barash has Null Talisman, Boots, Arcane Boots, and Bottle 15 minutes into the game on a mid Lashrak.
Yeah, I'm showing the items as well as the 12k advantage that the Virgin United has at this point. It's gonna be even more because the Roshan is still not on that craft, so I think we are talking about 14k in 16 minutes, so they have a higher curve than 1k net worth advantage per minute, which is horrible, of course, for the team, because give it another 5 minutes and your aura and a net worth that cannot be redeemed at all. Nice fishing here, both colons will hit on that Witch Dog. The Coconut is not there, but he has a Glimmer Cape thanks to the previous nice fight. He has these items that will actually help him to just escape such an onslaught. Easy going for him. That's when you have fed support.
Yeah, and I feel like Miroshka, he's itemizing a little bit safe here. I mean, you definitely are on the back foot. You probably want to go for that BKB. He may end up opting for a Senjin Yasha here, but I feel like it's a BKB considering he's sitting on 800 gold. And I don't know if he has the damage output anymore with the Yule Scepter and those Glimmer Capes up on both the Tusk and the Witch Doctor. So he really is going to need some more right click. They are going to need to invest in some detection as well, but it feels like things are just very out of reach for Yellow Submarine at this moment.
Yep, they're gonna go systematically through the map, which is, I guess, the right thing to do. I mean, so far, I already said it, they have amazing growth in net worth. They're farming, like, that, except for the Gyrocopter, the net worth graph is pretty much split in two. You see the bottom, that represents Yellow Submarine. Top, that is Burden United. The only one who's kind of deviating from all this glorious farm is the Gyrocopter. He found a tiny bit more, but still, now every outer tower is going down. We're 17 minutes in, and yes, we are talking about high ground, so that's pretty much now the highest burden you have to take, obviously, in this game, but I don't think they have too much of a problem with it.
Yeah, Mind Control can poke away at this tower as well as auto lose. He has the Precision Aura bonus on the Lina, and he does quite a bit of work with that Fiery Soul and that 600 base attack range, so they can do it pretty safely. They are going to back off for now, though. They don't want to feed over any of this advantage, and they do have tons of map control with all the outer tier towers being eliminated, so they can pretty much just farm the map, starve out Yes for the next little bit, grab up their next key item, and then look to go high ground with an even larger advantage.
Yeah, Altulus is just violating the jungle here at the moment. He can lose whatever mana and HP he pleases because he has a regeneration rune bottle, so whenever he's done and he knows the rune is about to pop, and he's just popping it and he's ready for a fight whenever the team calls for it. But at the moment, well, we have the Lina as the core, just going full for the Dire jungle. We have the Drow going for the Radiant jungle, and the supports take 2 out of 3 lanes. That is probably the most optimal way you can actually go for without risking much. Everybody's still relatively close next to each other, so you can actually rotate and reinforce whatever fight might break out. And for Yellow Submarine, that means they're locked in their base. They have to wait till Burden makes a move, and maybe even makes a move too far and overcommits into, yeah, beyond the tier 3, maybe tier 4 if they're really greedy, and then just feed on those tiers if they really die in the base.
Yeah, I mean, Yellow Submarine in a very risky position at this point, but they are kind of doing the right things. They've got sentries outside of their base in both the mid and bottom lanes, looking for autofocus or auto lose to find that initiation with the Lina. They are staying fairly safe, but BU just not willing to commit anything over to them. They're just going to continue to farm up 1,800 gold onto their Witch Doctor at this point. Auto lose does have that Aegis, maybe wants to take advantage of it, but everyone else is securing some important farm here. Staff of Wizardry comes out on the Wyvern, the full Aghanims on the Lina, and 2,600 gold on Mind Control's Drow Ranger.
Yeah, and there's nothing changing at the moment for Yellow Submarine. They're just sitting in their base at the moment. Well, the Leshrac is at least fine, a tiny bit more farm than the Tusk, but, well, this is not how you wanted to have your Leshrac end in the mid. He really got badly shut down. This is, I mean, 20 minutes Leshrac in the mid. He just finished like all like the basic items. This looks like he's just 5 minutes in the lane pretty much. Okay, I know it's a bit saturated, but yeah, he doesn't have any farm. He has a 2k, of course, in the bank, but he's probably not even spending a lot of it. Like the point booster is not coming out because he needs to buy back. So yeah, for now he's holding on to that gold.
Radiant side is going to scout out the Earthshaker bottom lane. Winter's Curse is there on top of the Arctic Burn Vision, and they are going to be able to isolate out and gust up the Earthshaker. Come with me, going to find the last hit there. And maybe this is the pickoff they need to go high ground. 30 seconds on the sideline for that Earthshaker. They do still have the Aegis. It's actually going to expire in about 5 seconds for the Radiant side, so perhaps they think a little bit better of going high ground here, but still a nice pickoff nonetheless.
Yep. Absolutely, so they just really go for maximum farm, even the Ancients. The only window they kinda missed is, of course, the fact that, yes, the Aegis just expired, so the next fight they take has to be without Aegis, unless they keep farming and keep this kind of status quo up till the next Roshan comes up. I mean, that would be very boring for us and the viewers, but from a we have to win point of view, that's it. Yeah, that's not an impossible thing.
Yeah, it's a very safe play, and ASDF is going to pick up a recipe towards a mechanism as well on the Witch Doctor, so that shouldn't be too long to come out. He's actually got both components over on the Courier, so full mech up on the Witch Doctor. On top of that, Voodoo Resto, Ewel's on the Lina, 2 Glimmer Capes out on the Tusk and the Witch Doctor, so there's a lot of survivability here for BU. I don't know how Yes is able to burst down really anyone aside from a Roar into a Static Storm.
3 Glimmer Caves, there's so much overkill here. Afterburn even used the Ice Shard, so much ice coming Getrock's way, and with that last one, just the 2 supports here, roaming for that single Beastmaster. Easy go on the boar, just punched under the nose with that Walrus punch, and also Lina getting the Disruptor kill top.
Yeah, Disruptor going to be brought down to only the duo of ASDF and Auto lose, and Barash a little bit too far off to be able to save his Disruptor here. So 2 easy picks going Yellow Submarine's way, and maybe they're going to assemble mid now. The Laguna Blade is down though, and Lina a bit low on her mana, so they'll just back off, continue to apply pressure, continue to choke Yellow Submarine from finding anything on this map. Roshan not up for at least a minute and 15. But Radiant look more than content to wait for that timer.
Yep, 22 minutes in, we are heading towards a 22k, 23k advantage here at this point, and Burden United still not making that move towards the high ground. I mean, I think it's safe to say they could really give it a shot.
Yeah, the King of the Hill format, perhaps a little bit daunting here for BU. They want to continue to stay on top, so playing it real safe in this one. Game 1 of a best of 3, but definitely do have quite the advantage at this point. So they are just maybe playing mind games with their opponent, bleeding them out. The longer kind of you're suffering in a match like this, the worse for your morale as a team. So we'll see if Yes have the resilience to bring one back here. But the high ground defense is pretty darn good for them. Echo Slam, Static Storm, Leshrock Spam, Call Down, Beastmaster Roar. So I guess BU respecting that now. They also have the vision from the Hawk. So initiation, or modes of initiation, should be pretty reliable for Yellow Submarine. But as you mentioned, they are extremely far behind.
Yep, absolutely. You said it right. It's more or less a bleeding out at the moment for Yellow Submarine, but not the really good old like cutting someone's throat and you're done with it. This is just nicking their carotid artery and waiting till they really take at least 5, 10, 15 minutes till they actually die. That's how it feels at the moment. This graph is just supporting one direction. That's towards even more of a dominance for Burden United. They don't want to do anything. The Lina from time to time sneaking like close to the base in case someone comes too far out, but they successfully scared them off all the time. Now Getrox actually is in a position where he could do something. There is, well, a 4-staff on that Winter Viper slowing him. With the Winter's Curse they might actually go for it, but it's pretty close to the base. So Vaj, not sick, they're coming, but Glimmer Caves so imbalanced, and the Lina just coming by and killing off that last track. Was that everything? Like, was that really just the Laguna Plate or the Dragon Slave as well? I think it was both. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she did get the 2 nukes off there, and Leshrock down for 30 plus. Maybe finally they look to go high ground here. Blink Dagger was picked up by the Earthshaker, but BKB's both on the Drow and the Lina. Now Lina's is flying out. Static Storm is going to connect onto 2. Mind Control going to be able to pop the BKB, however, and they're going to have no follow-up damage for this Roar. So now 2 big high ground defense ultimates are on cooldown for Yes. They use the BKB for the Drow Ranger, but I feel like they can just go right back in here. Glimpse back onto the Lina. No initiation, however. And BU just going to reset with the wave here. Perhaps go right back up to the high ground.
Yeah, I mean, there are some lanes pushing in, doing here. There's some nick damage to the tier 3 tower, but if you have like these kind of standoffs under the tower, that's gonna take another 10 minutes till they actually bring down the tier 3 tower. I guess they're just gonna wait for the next BKB. This was the fresh one, 10-second charge on the Draw Ranger, so in half a minute we have a 9-second ready again, and that should just do the trick. Lina also now equipped with a Black King Bar, and that also means like there's no damage really coming anymore, but oh my god. That hurts so much.
Beyond godlike streak for Auto loses Lina at this point and has the BKB available. It's a little bit low on mana, but with the BKB cooling down now for the Dro as well, as you mentioned.
A rune soon, so he should get the mana back as well as the Roshan is an easy timer. This is about 30 seconds or so. Yeah, they just wait here, get some mana. Actually, Lina doesn't have to wait. She just gets the mana back for the Laguna Plate, and then she just can one-shot whoever is coming by. I think at this point, Earthshaker might be a one-shot as well as the Disruptor. If not, they're close to dying, and a Dragon Slave should just do the trick. So you can really just vulture around their base and just wait till like one of those little mammals comes in your trap.
come with me. Scouting out the Roche. Is going to find it, and him and Mind Control jumping into the pit now. Reaver picked up on top of the BKB for Mind Control, so it looks like a Satanic going to come out pretty soon for this Drow Ranger. Aegis as well, so things looking pretty damn grim for Yes. Everyone else just keeping the lanes pushed in and only committing the Drow and the Wyvern to the pit. Easy Roshan for BU, and if they don't go high ground now, they've obviously been watching the Chinese tournaments that we've been casting the last
we have
few weeks.
initiation here on Nautilus. He's going down. That's a beyond godlike right there for them. The question is now, do they get more? Do they want more? There's a Winter's Curse interrupting the Gyrocopter's TP, and now the Draw Range is coming in. He has to do something about 4-step forward. BKB. Yeah, BKB, and there's just no way. Rocket Barrage, the right clicks, not even impressed. The lifesteal is way more on the Drow Ranger, so it's a 1-1 trade for the cause, but still, given that it was a godlike, man, that was a lot of gold.
Yeah, a lot of gold goes the way of the dire side. A little interesting to see what looked like a miscommunication from Yellow Submarine there. They take the kill. 4 of their heroes completely back off. It looks like Miroshka wanted to stick around and use their numbers advantage, and they leave their gyro. Meanwhile, top lane Mind Control has been picked up. But he will be snowballed into the Static Storm, however, and they are going to be able to snowball back to the wave. Fortunately, Mind Control surviving there. He's going to pop his Satanic, and he's going to be able to lifesteal back up off of the wave. They do have no gyro for 10 seconds. Auto lose is also not in the fight, but it looks like BU are willing to go high ground here, or at least chip away at this tower.
Well, there's a Gush on Bagash, which is probably the nice thing. Oh, there might be actually set up here Split Earth, but the duration of the silence is just too long. Even Glimmer Cape used on a Drow Ranger, they just don't get him down. They don't even get a hold of him. Lightning sure is used, but as long as there's something to lifesteal on, that's easy going for him, as well as the Satanic being off cooldown. So even if they brought him low HP, he could just restore all his HP.
Death Ward from the low ground on top of the Arctic Burn. Gus will be there. They'll bring down the Earthshaker. Split Earth is going to catch Mind Control. He'll be glimmered up, though. Will get hit with a homing missile, but he's super tanky with this Satanic S and Y build, and he's just going to man up into Nochik. Brings down the Disruptor. Cold Embrace will keep him safe for now. He's going to get snowballed up forward towards Barash. Winter's Curse onto the Gyro. They'll bring him down. Buyback from the Gyrocopter. Jedrux trying to back off as well. His Leshruck will fall almost simultaneously with him. No buybacks available from the 4 heroes down for Yes, and GG called. 29 minutes in, BU taking game 1.
Yep, that was a game that was dominated from minute 15 or earlier on, and it took us another 10 minutes or so till Burden United felt like, guys, you know what, I think we can go high ground. With that 25k lead or whatever it was at this point, it was beyond 30. They said like, yeah, I think we can go. The only little tiny mistake you saw there was obviously the Lina being a bit out of position. They lost to Beyond Godlike. That's of course bad for the stats. Still, it doesn't really matter. Burden United completely dominating here against Yellow Submarine, and it's a best of 3, boys. So they have another chance to come back. And I also call you guys like a little reminder here. Today, Razer made it possible that we can actually make a real hardware giveaway. It's a keyboard. Yes.
Very nice.
No, it's gonna be a plaque widow every single day. There's 5 more days in this tournament, and every single day we're gonna give one away today after the game. So stick around for that, and then there's your chance. That being said, game 2, boys. We are back.